Alright, so to see everything that happened to me regarding my injury, please see my YouTube channel, My Medical Nightmare. Discussion. Those that have asked for a phone number or email, please do not use the YouTube comment section. You can send me an email directly, and my contact is on screen. It's futurecloneguy@gmail.com. Alright, in August, I filed this complaint with the Florida Department of Health against Dr. Wayne Broth. And this was in reference to a free MRI review that he gave me over the telephone. This is an example of telemedicine. He had a New Jersey cell phone number, may have been in the state of Florida. That's where his medical practice is listed as. He works with Dr. Scott Katzman, Orthopedic and Laser Spine Surgery, 3355 Burns Road, number 304, Palm Beach Gardens, Florida, 33410. I found this practice on the internet. They have a website, and they invite prospective patients to send in their MRI images to be reviewed independently by their state of Florida licensed medical doctors. And I'll put up the links to the call I had with Wayne Broth. Yeah, I recorded all my phone calls. I sent in many of my medical records, the MRI images themselves. And you hear when I got on the phone with this doctor, he did not acknowledge my injuries that are very obvious in these scans. The injuries are there nonetheless. I had broken the underside of my skull, and broken bone is clearly visible. After about a year, this wound had gone untreated, unacknowledged, and a massive infection began to set in, and I almost died from whatever was going on with me. So, Dr. Scott Katzman and Wayne J. Broth, Orthopedic Laser Spine Surgery of Florida and New Jersey, are they looking at the actual MRI pictures, or do they simply read the erroneous reports that doctors may issue patients? That's the question here. This was a very awkward experience because it took Dr. Broth and Dr. Scott Katzman's office, Orthopedic and Laser Spine Surgery, 5 months to get back in touch with me after I made my inquiry via email. This is not professional turnaround time. So finally, at the end of July, I was given a cell phone number to Dr. Broth, and he called me one Friday night. Please go listen to that call, and I may add it at the end of this video also. Yeah, anyway, the doctor tried to argue with me about the existence of the injuries in these scans, when I simply asked his first name, because they only gave me the name Dr. Broth. I asked his first name, and then he abruptly ended our telephone conversation. So that's very shady. This sparked my complaint to the Florida Department of Health.
Dr. Broth, I received your voicemail. I'll give you a shout back whenever you get a chance. 908.
Can you tell me what state you're calling from?
We're in Florida and New Jersey.
So did you have a chance to look at these images?
I do. I saw, yeah. I looked at the images. You had a lot of scans in the past. What was the reason for that?
Are you a doctor?
I am.
Okay, if you look at the scans, the issue is pretty obvious.
Okay, which is what?
Okay, well, you're the doctor. You didn't see the massive injury?
I didn't.
You didn't, okay.
No.
Can you tell me your background? What's your specialty?
Sure, so I'm internal medicine.
Internal medicine, okay. Now, I contacted Dr. Katzman, laser spine surgery. Do you have those images in front of you now?
I do.
All right, so I called Dr. Scott Katzman, laser spine surgery. So what do you do in regards to, like bone issues, orthopedic issues related to the spine?
Yeah, it all depends on what the issue is. We do multiple different procedures, multiple different surgeries, so it all depends on what the problem is, what the symptoms are, what the imaging findings are. Okay.
Are you a radiologist?
I'm not.
Okay, so when you look at these pictures, you can identify injuries necessarily?
I typically can, but I don't see an injury on yours.
Okay, so do you have all these images in front of you now?
What do you mean by all? All I have is an MRI, a couple pictures of the MRI.
Okay, I've got an image here, and it's numbered 34, screenshot 34. Can you pull that up?
That I don't have.
Okay. Well, is there any way I could get these pictures to you so you can send them? Because I have a very serious injury. I broke the underside of my skull. And
how did you do that?
How did I do that? That's a good question. I don't know. But yeah, anyways, in these pictures you can see my injury very clearly. So I had an infection grow, and it grew out to about 6 inches in diameter. That's present in the MRI pictures. So you didn't see that? 6 inches diameter of infection in my skull?
I didn't. Who told? Did the radiologist tell you that you have an infection in the skull?
Okay, well you're the doctor, so I was going to ask you what you thought about it.
Yeah, I don't see any evidence of infection. How do you know that you had an infection there in the skull?
Okay, I will direct you to those images. If you can access them, the evidence is present in the pictures.
So you don't know how you said that you broke the base of your skull. You don't know how you did that?
Yeah, I don't, but I almost died from this injury in 2019. And I went around to several hospitals, doctors at that time, and had these images taken. And they told me I had no injury. I knew better because I was dying. And then after several months, the infection and parasites set in. I had 3-inch long insects grow in this wound, the upper area of my neck, beneath the crack in my skull.
All right, so who told you that you had parasites growing?
Okay, you're the doctor, so I'm going to direct you to those images, please, and you'll see the evidence in the pictures.
Yeah, you don't have any. I don't see any evidence of parasites in
okay,
in the
see, could you give me your name, please? Your Dr. Broth. What's your first name?
Yeah, it's best that we don't, that you probably don't speak further, because I don't think that we're going to be a match for you.
You're not a real doctor, are you?
Oh, yep, you're right. I'm not a real doctor. Yep, exactly.
Okay. Yeah, you need to get some glasses and go to medical school, and you'll see what happened to me. And this is not a trivial matter at all, sir. Have a nice day.